What is cloud security? Is that even security? Hi guys, my name is Ashish and I am talking about what is security in cloud, or cloud security as a lot of people call it. Before I get into this, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notification whenever there is a new video up. Alright, what is cloud security? Cloud security is having visibility of who's running what in your cloud environment and be effectively and automatically notified when someone violates the security guardrails in place. You heard it over here first. Feel free to retweet that. The essential idea behind all this is that if you have any kind of a cloud environment and you have security guardrails, first of all, cloud security implementation would enable you to have visibility on what kind of guardrails are there. Second of all, if someone breaks those guardrails or tries to break through them, you would be notified instantly and effectively with context. That's what cloud security is. Before we go into what is cloud security, we should probably level up the field for everyone, right? For both security and non-security folks. So what is cloud? Cloud is a service which is offered on the internet, and it's for free or paid users depending on which service you use. There are different flavors to it. You can have cloud services which are a infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or even software as a service. Infrastructure as a service, examples would be public cloud services like Amazon Web Services. For platform as a service, a great example for that is Azure from Microsoft. A great example for software as a service is, I wonder how common the example needs to be. I guess you get the picture. Facebook, LinkedIn, every online service that you access is basically a SaaS, which is a software being offered to you on the internet. So that kind of sums up and basically levels up the play field for what is cloud, what kind of services you have. Oh wait, are we forgetting something? Because we're talking about security, so we need to mention the deployment types, or what kind of clouds can exist. It could be a public cloud, private cloud, or a hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is essentially cloud services which are on both the internet as well as it could be on your private data center, but it's just your choice. Why not both? Now, since we level the play fields for the different kinds of cloud services, the different shapes, the different sizes, that public, private, hybrid. Now, a lot of cloud security is focused around CIA, Central Investigation. No, unfortunately not. It's CIA is the triad of information security. We were hammered this in as part of our information security master's degree or information security course if we ever do one. It's essentially confidentiality, integrity, and availability. There are other cloud security things which would be relevant, but do we really care for this video? Nah, I don't. Essentially, CIA, if you remember those, it's more than enough for you to know what the CIA is and why it matters. I've spoken a lot about what is cloud security. Why do we need it? And is it really different from traditional security? Really? Is it? Now, there are a few examples for why it's different. The very first thing I would say, it's a perimeter-based versus a component-based architecture. So in a cloud environment, or actually, let me start with the infrastructure first. In a traditional data center, it's kind of like a coconut architecture. Yes, I did say coconut. Where it's really hard on the outside and really soft mushy inside. Yeah, it's all about the perimeter-based security. As long as you can jump the fence, it's all good. You can get access to everything. Whereas in a cloud context, it's all container-based or component-based. Essentially, if you get access to one part of the cloud environment, doesn't really mean you get access to everything. You have to have individual access to each part of a cloud environment for you to have, I guess, a full control or full God mode on an AWS account. Unless you've compromised credentials, obviously. Did you? The other example is security at scale or security in demand. The reason I have them together is because we're moving in a world where all the DevOps guys, everyone's talking about moving it faster, moving it in a velocity that market is getting the product sooner than you can even think about, right? We're going at the speed of light, like Superman. But seriously though, it is true that everyone is moving at the speed of light and security needs to keep up with it. Now, we can't do it in a traditional data center where we have to request for extra hardware and it takes a few weeks to get the request, or we don't have API enabled on products. Yes, there are security products out there which claim to be cloud ready, but they're not really cloud ready. So sorry, but not sorry. In my opinion, that's a major difference between security being relevant in this new age is to be faster and more relevant, and so that we can have so that we can have security as a service for everyone in the organization to use and not just a slow service that people just don't like. The biggest question over here is, how does cloud security really work? I'll try and answer this in a short way. The short answer to this is the implementation of cloud security really depends on the cloud service provider. Sorry, guys, I hope I had a better answer. It's not the same for everyone. You would have a unique cloud security approach for each cloud environment or cloud service provider you work with. So it's on a case by case basis. I hate saying that, but that's the reality. It is on a case by case basis. It's really easy to have a cloud strategy if you only have one cloud environment, but if you have multi-cloud strategy where you have Azure, AWS, Google, and all the other private cloud and anything else that's out there, it's a bit difficult to have cloud security which is across all of them. I've kind of spoken about why cloud security. I've spoken about how cloud security, but is there a way forward? Or is that really the answer that is case by case basis? There are ways that you can go faster with this. Now, when you're brainstorming cloud security strategy for your cloud environment, one important thing that I would recommend before you brainstorm into this is think about this from a shared responsibility model, right? Because you're doing a cloud security in a cloud environment, you kind of have to be aware of who's responsible for what. The way I explain shared responsibility model in a public cloud is if you park your car in a public car park, you're not responsible to ensure that only trusted people can go into the car park. However, you are responsible for locking your car in case someone decides to come in, I don't know, inspect your car for what's valuable in there, right? That's not the car park's responsibility, that's your responsibility. It's the same concept in cloud where there are certain things which you are responsible for and there are certain things which the cloud provider is responsible for. Now, obviously, there are heaps of other things to deal with when you talk about security, but this is the foundation on which you would lay your cloud security strategy. Moving forward, I think the easiest way to explain it, after you have understood shared responsibility model, the next obvious step would be, I probably should pick a cloud, right? That's right, that's what I'm going to do. So the next few videos are going to focus on one of the cloud service providers, a public one, of course, because it's much more easier. I'll take the biggest one in the market, which is Amazon Web Services. The reason I'm calling it is #cloud security. Is because it's easier to search, and plus I love hashtags. So watch out for the video. It should be next in the playlist, somewhere here, there. Hopefully you guys find this video helpful and educational. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to leave a comment, or don't forget to subscribe so you get to know when the next video comes out. Until then, peace out.